I am back. It's been so long. It's been so long. But I only speak when it's time to speak. And I only share when it's time to share. And when it comes to me, I got to give it out to the world. Look at you now. Look at you now. You will find in life as you grow and excel, as you change, as you learn new things, there's always going to be that one person or persons or people, places, and things that always want to make you feel bad or remind you of what you used to be or remind you what you used to do. And they want to get in your head and rattle you and make you think that what you're doing now today isn't worth anything because of the journey you had. But think about all the things you've been through, all the things you once didn't know that you know now, all the mistakes you made, all the experiences, good, bad, ugly. Think about all those things and look at it, what it produced. If you're standing today, whether it's physically or you inside, just look at what it created. It made a greater you. It made a greater you. It made a person who knows tenacity, a person who knows grit, a person who knows will. Don't count yourself out. Things may be difficult right now, may be hard, may be struggling. Don't run from those things. Look at adversity now like, been there, done that, let's go. Let's go. You're not gonna stop me. You're not gonna tell me what I can and can't do. You're not gonna take my job, shut my company down, and think I'm not gonna come back again. You know, just look at that. Let your past chapters of your life be a reflection that you not only survived, but you can withstand and you can endure. You can endure. Don't let anyone make you feel less than or bad because you have a past. Everybody has a past. And guarantee the people that's trying to make you feel bad or make you feel less than, sometimes their past is more ugly than yours. But they want to make you hold a mirror up and make it seem like you got to always look in the rearview mirror at your past and feel so horrible and so terrible. Forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. And if you have faith, and no matter what faith, no matter what you speak, your faith language to God, if you have faith, and you know that all it took was you to not lose that faith. And even when you may have uttered it out your mouth, I quit, I give up, I don't believe anymore, your heart still said, I do believe. And see, that's the thing. We utter things out our mouth sometimes being immature and unwise because we're still young. And I don't just mean young in age, I just mean we're still young in knowledge and wisdom and understanding. So we utter things out like a kid throwing a tantrum or an upset person, and we forget that, man, I'm saying that, but I really feel like this in here. And when you utter those words, it's like when you said something to someone and you feel like you want to take it back, and then you got to go back and apologize. You already know once you said those words that you really don't mean it. You really don't believe it. Because you've already had soul experience to know, to let you know that, man, I can make it through this. This ain't that hard. You know, I've been through worse. I done seen worse. But take those experiences in chapters of your life and get the enrichment out of it. Now look at that book of your life and say, this is difficult, but it was not like that time this happened, or this reminds me of the time when that happened, but I looked at it this way, but now I'm wise enough to see things from this perspective, and I'm going to pray on it, give it to God, and, I'm going to move. I'm going to be patient a little bit. I'm going to not react so fast. I'm going to think about how grateful I need to be right now and absorb what I'm meant to absorb right now so that I know how to move forward in the future, forward right now in this present. So don't let anyone, anything make you feel less than if you've struggled and walked through a journey and made it to where you are today. If you can look in the mirror And even if you've done some horrible things and you've gave it up and learned that, man, I was once this person, now I'm this person. You know, even if you've made so many mistakes, even if you've failed so many times, even if you said things, you know, man, let it go. Let it go. And when you let it go, really let it go. Don't hold on to it. Don't let regret, guilt, and grief bog you down, man. Don't let anyone make you feel like that. Because I guarantee you, if you're standing before yourself today and before God, you're grateful. You're grateful. And you done worked hard to get there. You may not have seen the hard work when you were in it, but when you were in it, you were fighting for your life to get to that next phase of your life. And me personally, I've always paid attention. I'm always quiet and I pay attention and observe life ever since I was a child. And, you know, the men that were around me in my life, I watched them, man. I watched them, you know, get up, go to work every day, deal with things. I watched them start at this point and go to this point. Lose, win, fall, get up, get sick, come back. This, you know, from my grandfather to my uncles to you know, the man that raised me, you know, even my dad at the time when he was in my life, you know, men in the neighborhood. It's like I've watched them give an example of what it means to fight and have grit and never give up and never quit. And even when times get hard, even when you want to sit and say no, you know, and it's like, I value that. I value that. I was just telling my cousin yesterday, like, man, I watched you go from here, you know, to move to here, come back home, take care of your mom, go back to California, make sure your kids are straight. I watched you do so much, man, and I don't take that lightly. I don't take that lightly. My uncle, I watched this man start out at a fast food restaurant when I was a little kid to running restaurants all around the country, to doing his own thing, to being this beautiful spirit man today, you know, that still making moves as he, you know, watch my grandfather, somebody gifted him a truck, gifted this man a truck. He drove this little, now he could have got a truck here in the Midwest in Chicago, but somebody gave him this truck because of who he was. Just gave him the truck. I watched this man, this old man and his friend drive that rickety old truck from California back to Chicago. And my grandfather started a landscaping business after that. It was like, you know, so, you know, journeys, and you pay attention to your journey, and people's journey, and when you're in the thick of it, you may not see how much you're putting in. You may not see all the hard work, and it may be hard. You may be ready to quit. You may be ready to throw your hands up. But afterwards, when time done pass, pay homage to that and look back, man, whew, I remember when this was this and this was that, and I remember when, you know, I didn't have this or I didn't have that, you know. Just a little backstory on my fitness company. When I left the gym and started going into people's homes, some of my peers said, "You crazy, man, you're gonna be driving around people's houses, man, that's crazy, gas and this and that, the cars," and I was like, man, you know, and I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about the fact of how am I gonna give people their results without all the equipment. You know, it's like resistance bands is cool and this is cool, but it's like I'm accustomed to utilizing this equipment. And then it was like, what kind of space am I gonna walk into when I walk into people's homes, or, you know, and that's what I was thinking about. I wasn't really thinking about the driving here and back and there and gas and everything, because I didn't know. I didn't factor in parking. I didn't factor in gas. I just knew I wanted to help people. I wanted to help people be healthy in their home, because I knew when people walked into this big box gym, it was like walking into this high school gym again, and you feel insecure. You know, you got these group of people walking by, everybody's fit and wearing the, you know, nice outfits and everything, and it's like, where do I fit in? You know, it's like high school again, cool kids and you know, odd kids, and then me, and you know, it was intimidating. I watched people come into the gym and panic and fear on their face, so I knew that I wanted to help people outside, and gratefully I had some clients that really pushed me to do that, and worked out now 20 some years later. But it was things that I mean, I was taking like pennies, just because those pennies were a little bit more pennies than the big box gym I was working in was paying me to drive here and there, and it was like in my mind, it's like I'm building relationships, and if I help people, all the goodness, or whatever I need to come, not even knowing that my value and my worth was more because I'm coming to people. And someone had to tell me that. Someone had to tell me that. And it wasn't even someone in the industry. It was like one of my cousin, he told me like, man, you've got a lot of results with people, man. And it's like, you should be up here, and it's like you forcing yourself to stay down here. And it was like, I didn't know. I didn't know. And at that time, I was struggling. Wouldn't nobody know it though. Didn't nobody know it. I show up to everyone's door, to their little gym in their condo building. Let's go. How you doing? No one knew that I had certain bills. No one knew that I put the last of my gas money in the tank to get to them. I didn't care about that. All I thought about was getting the goal accomplished and helping this person that's right in front of me. And over time, I learned and got better and knew how to do things without equipment, and I started bringing more equipment, carrying my own weights, which is ridiculous. And just like some of my peers said, I ran a lot of cars in the ground. It was times I was driving a car and it was smoking and on fire, but I still went to that client, parked the car, got out, made sure it wasn't, made sure the flames died down, went and trained that client, came back, got on the phone with AAA after that. But it's like, for me, it was just like, gotta get it done, gotta get it done, gotta get it done. And one day I sat back and reflected on all those times, and I was just like, man, I drove here, I went here and I did this and I did that, and I was working, I came home at 11 o'clock one night and got up at 2 a.m. and went and trained somebody. It's like, that built tenacity, it built strength, but it also built a journey that I can look back, and as things get difficult, as I go into now and in the future, it's like I can look back and say, hey man, at the end of the day, man, I worked hard to get to where I am, and can't no one take that from me. You can say whatever you want about, I used to drive this, or I used to do that, or you'd see me downtown carrying dumbbells and dragging a bag and everything. It was like, you can say whatever you want, but it's like, I earned where I am today, just as you have. And whoever's watching, whoever's supporting, that's what I want you to understand. I want you to appreciate the fact that you have earned where you are. You may be sitting in a job that you're unhappy with. You may be doing something that you're unhappy with. You may be living somewhere that you're unhappy with or miserable, but you've come a long way. So now look at you now. Look at you now. And at this space where you're at, if it's not fitting for you, just like you've done all this time up until now, man, gotta move, gotta move. And if we haven't learned anything else after the years that we lost during the pandemic, is we gotta learn how to pivot and adapt and move, and not settle. It's like sometimes it's time to stay put and keep tinkering at something and build, make sure you got enough, education or knowledge to move about. And then sometimes you just gotta jump. You just gotta jump, and worry about what happens later, because things in life that are worth something takes risk, takes sacrifice, and it also takes knowing your value. And that's what's important. Know your value enough to know that this isn't for me and I gotta move. This isn't where I wanna be and I gotta move. Or this is where I need to be right now to keep building myself up until I'm secure enough to move or get better. And remember, anyone who tries to basically stomp on your elevation or your growth by constantly reminding you of where you were, you don't need them in your life. You don't need them in your life. That's their way. That's their way. I don't care who it is. And hear me when I say I don't care who it is. You can love them, you can like them, but you can keep them afar too. I don't care who it is. Because as you get older, the people you want around you, you want them running with you and carrying the flag. And you want to do this for them. If you got friends, that, and to me, like when you get a certain age, your friends should be more like your family. You know, you guys are, each one of you guys are doing your own thing, whether you work in different jobs or whether you privately doing things or whether you got businesses together. You all should be running and carrying each other's flag. You know, and that's how it should be. Pardon me, y'all. You all should be running and carrying each other's flag. That's how it should be. Or y'all should all be under one flag. But you all should be thinking on the same wavelength. If you got, whether you're an individual, whether you got family that you're taking care of, you should all be on the same wavelength. And y'all should be helping each other. If I got a friend that's a painter, guess what I'm gonna do? If he's too busy to paint my house, I'm gonna consult him. Hey man, how much should these people be paying me? I mean, how much should I be paying these people to paint my house? You know, how much should they charge a room? You know, what's this shit? What should I be looking for when they come in and they look in my house? What questions should I be asking? If I got a friend that's a plumber, because me, I don't call my friends friends, I call my friends brothers and sisters. So it's like, if I got a friend that does accounting, hey man, what you think I should do to blah, blah, blah. You know, and I'm the same way with my clients. My clients that have certain businesses that I've been working with for over 10 years, 10 years or 6 years, or, you know, whatever. It's like I consult them just as they consult me. And, you know, for so long, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to pry into people's life and anything like that. But, you know, people started saying, hey man, you know, I see you doing this, and if you need help, you know, say something, you know. So it's like I started tapping into those resources. And in time, with me working with certain people, I started seeing the same thing. I had clientele that when I met them, they were, you know, dating this person. Then the person becomes their husband, their girlfriend, boyfriend, and the person becomes fiance. Then the person becomes husband. Now it's kids, and now it's this, and now it's that. And now we're relocating, and we're getting a house, and we're doing. So it's like, who am I to say, I remember when you were, blah, 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 you know, if I say that, it's always to encourage somebody. Man, I remember when you said you would never run. Oh, I remember when you said you could never lift weights. Oh, I remember when you said you'd never find somebody. Oh, I remember when you said you didn't think you want to have kids. Or I remember when you said you didn't think you were good enough to finish college or get this degree or get that job or start a business or do this or do that. And look at you now. Look at you now. So look at yourself now. And no matter where you at, you've come a long way. Appreciate the journey. Appreciate your steps. Because you did it one step at a time, and you didn't stop, and you didn't quit. But as we get older, and this world is changing, it's one thing my mom still says to this day: misery loves company. Now, no one ever told us, like, happiness loves company. So that should tell us something, that as you climb, the more and more and more, the happier you get, success comes, that circle of people, places, and things starts to get smaller. And you start valuing that circle. So you don't want to hit anything that's not bringing goodness to you. So misery loves company, but goodness, man, goodness protects, goodness builds. So as always, thank you everyone for tuning in. If you would like to purchase Fight for Your Life apparel, DM me at fightstruggle@gmail.com or go to Instagram, IG, and you can do struggle_fight. Otherwise, thank you so much for your support. As always, peace, fight for your life, and look at you now.